never stop getting better. Okay, let that just sit in for a second, all right? So I just came from this great networking event where John Perry, the author of this book, Never Stop Getting Better, was the guest speaker. It was very motivational, very inspirational. John Perry has an amazing track record with being a winning football coach for high school. And one of the things I really appreciated about what John said is that he's like, I'm not here to win titles. He's like, I'm here to help develop these football players to be great fathers and dads and members of their communities, to be leaders. And I was like, that is so great. And I literally clapped before he even got the sentence done, because I'm like, I love that. And I love that it's not just about winning football, right? Because how many of those high school kids are actually ever going to have a career in football, right? But what can they be learning on the football field and in practice? And one of the things that I loved about what Coach Perry talked about is that we as leaders, we need to look at how do we evaluate the inputs in our lives that are helping us to become better leaders or not, right? And so in this pursuit of never stop getting better, right, it's what do I need to do to be better? And with the ideas of inputs, so this would be things like, what podcasts are you listening to? What music are you listening to? What social media is coming into your life? What books are you reading? Who are you spending your time with, right? And so I want you to think about that as a leader for yourself. Like, what are those inputs? What are the things that you're allowing to come in your life? And I don't know, maybe if it's time to stop and say, maybe it's time to evaluate and to decide, do I continue to let those inputs continue to be something that I'm going to allow, right? Because you get to be the gatekeeper of that, you guys. You get to decide, am I going to let this in or not, right? And what is that decisioning that you're going to make for yourself? And so when again, just to use these wonderful words from John Perry about never stop getting better, and by the way, he has a podcast as well. And so, but the thought is that if we're never stopping, then we need to have this evolution of evaluating and making some decisions. And I don't think that needs to be like, once a year or once every 5 years, right? Whenever it makes sense for you. And I think a good way to evaluate this is when you're listening to a podcast. If you're like, no, I really don't like what they're saying, stop listening to it, right? Stop, unsubscribe from your podcast player, right? You don't have to have that little alert to say, hey, such and such podcast, here's the message, the newest one that's come in. If it's not resonating with you, then don't listen to it anymore, right? Or if there's a topic that is of interest to you, go and search for that and allow that to come into your life, right? But this whole effort of never stopping, you guys, really, being a leader, it just never stops. It just doesn't stop. You continue to evolve and to grow and to change. And that's not because the business world changes, right? It's because that's the thing that we do, is we just never stop. And so for never stopping, that means we always get to keep growing, right? And that's powerful. That, my friend, is amazing. You keep building and growing and developing and becoming that better person. And that, I think, is a key thing here. Okay, so if you're ready to level up and to improve who you are as a leader, one of the things I love to do with you guys is to take you through the Strengths Finder and to have you take the assessment, and then we'll discuss and talk about what it means to really be a strengths-based leader. It's a fantastic way for you to be a stronger leader, so in turn you can have stronger teams. So get in touch with me so that I can share with you some options that I can have to help you to know and understand your strengths better. This is a wonderful way for you to build, right? That's a wonderful way for you to never stop getting better, right? Is to understand your strengths and to help you go to that next level. So get in touch with me. We'll talk more about those options I have for you. And get out there, my friends. Keep building.